Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me, because today we are taking apart a machine. And no, I don't mean a physical machine made of gears and oil, but an invisible economic engine that constantly, quietly runs in the background of all our lives. It's this hidden machine that makes absolutely everything around us more expensive over time. We are going to uncover the secret mechanics behind those everyday rising costs, and by the end of this, you'll understand exactly how this whole system works. Okay, let's dive right in.
So let's start with a reality check that I know we have all felt. Just look at this comparison for a second. 10 years ago, a 100 rupees note could easily buy enough groceries for a small family dinner. But today, that exact same 100 rupees note barely fills a small shopping bag. Think about your daily essentials. Milk packets that used to be 40 rupees have crept up to 65 rupees. Petrol boards that used to display 70 rupees a liter recently flipped to 110 rupees. Even your favorite snack size shrinks, but somehow the price tag just keeps getting bigger. We are literally all living the reality of shrinking purchasing power every single time we check out at the supermarket.
Which brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? Why does inflation never seem to stop? Seriously, think about it for a minute. If human technology keeps making production cheaper and faster, and if our factories are more efficient than ever before thanks to things like AI and automation, why don't prices ever return to where they were? Why do we always seem to pay more as the years go by?
Section 1. A world without inflation. The deflation danger.
Let's do a quick thought experiment. What if prices never changed? Imagine bread is 30 rupees, your rent is exactly 10,000 rupees, and it just stays that way forever. Honestly, at first glance, frozen prices sound like a dream. But in reality, if prices don't rise, or worse, if they fall, a scenario economists call deflation, an incredibly dangerous cycle begins. Just look at step 1. People wait. I mean, if you know a car is going to be cheaper next month, you don't buy it today, right? Because everyone stops spending, we hit step 2. Companies earn less money. They completely stop expanding. And that forces step 3. Workers lose jobs. Zero inflation actually destroys an economy because nobody expects future growth. We desperately need the expectation that tomorrow will be bigger than today just to keep investments flowing.
Section 2. The engines of inflation. Too much money, too few goods.
We are going to look at the most fundamental driver of rising prices right now, and that's the money supply itself. Imagine a small village. There are only 100 apples in the entire village, and the total amount of money everyone has combined is 1,000 rupees. Naturally, each apple sells for 10 rupees. But what if the government suddenly prints another 1,000 rupees and just hands it out? Well, now the village has 2,000 rupees, but there are still only 100 apples. Because everyone has more cash in their pockets, they offer higher prices to outbid each other. Instantly, the price per apple jumps to 20 rupees. Now, did those apples suddenly taste twice as good? No way. The money just became less valuable because there's simply more of it.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next point, the epic battle between supply and demand. Imagine a tech company launches a highly anticipated new smartphone, but they only have 1 million units available. Meanwhile, 5 million people are absolutely desperate to buy one. When consumption and population outpace the supply, prices are violently forced upward. It takes years and years to build new factories, pave roads, or construct power plants to increase that supply. But demand? Well, demand can explode overnight.
Section 3. The hidden costs. The domino effect.
You know, we often get pretty mad at companies for raising prices, but they don't usually do it randomly just to be greedy. They are reacting to a vast, complex chain of events. Imagine you run a biscuit factory. Out of nowhere, flour becomes more expensive due to a bad harvest. Diesel for your delivery trucks goes way up. The plastic for your packaging costs more. On top of all that, your own workers need more money to feed their families, so salaries have to go up. As a business owner, you are facing a brutal choice. You either accept lower profits or you increase the price of the biscuits. Most companies, for sure, are going to pass that cost right on to the consumer. Economists call this cost-push inflation. It's a literal domino effect where one rising cost just knocks down the next.
And that leads us to a truly fascinating yet kind of dangerous phenomenon, the wage price spiral. Imagine you get a nice 10% salary hike. You feel richer. You start eating at restaurants more, you buy more clothes. Because you and everyone else are spending more, businesses need to hire more staff to keep up. To attract that staff, they offer higher wages. But wait, now the restaurant's operating costs are higher, so what do? They raise the price of the menu. When you see those higher menu prices, you march right back to your boss and demand another raise. It becomes this endless, self-feeding loop of wages and prices just pushing each other upward.
Section 4. The Government Balancing Act, walking the economic tightrope.
Central banks around the world are essentially walking a massive macroeconomic tightrope. They aren't actually trying to eliminate inflation, they are trying to manage it like a complex, very delicate machine. If a central bank prints too much money or lowers interest rates too far, borrowing becomes incredibly easy, demand skyrockets, and inflation absolutely explodes. But on the flip side, if they pull the emergency brake and raise interest rates too high, loans become incredibly expensive, businesses stop expanding, consumers stop buying houses, and jobs completely disappear. Because of this terrifying tightrope, most governments and central banks target an inflation rate of roughly 2 to 4%. They actually want a little bit of inflation because mild, predictable inflation is a healthy sign. It means businesses are investing, people are spending, and money is actively moving through the system. However, let's be real. In reality, real-world inflation often runs much hotter, frequently hovering around 5% or even more depending on global events and local economies. And navigating that 5% reality, well, that completely changes how you should be managing your money.
Section 5. Winners, losers, and you. Surviving the system.
So how do you actually survive this system? Now that we know inflation is literally baked into the very design of our economy, we need to talk about how this macroeconomic machine directly impacts your personal wealth. Let's look at the losers first. If inflation is running at 5% and you are holding all your wealth in a cash savings account earning 0 interest, you are mathematically losing 5% of your purchasing power every single year. Retirees on fixed incomes, they get completely squeezed. But look over at the winner's side. It's the people who own assets, real estate, stocks, profitable businesses, gold. To beat a 5% inflation rate, you must transition from just being a saver to becoming an investor. This means guiding your capital into things like broad market index funds to capture corporate growth. Or maybe utilizing fixed-rate mortgages to buy real estate, which actually allows you to pay back debt with cheaper, inflated currency over time. The rule of the game is this: you have to own things that rise in value faster than the currency falls.
This quote right here perfectly captures the reality of the situation. Inflation is often called an invisible tax because it reduces what your money can buy without sending you a bill. I mean, it hits the nail right on the head. It's entirely silent, it doesn't ask for your permission, even if the absolute number in your bank account stays exactly the same year after year. The actual value, what that money can tangibly do for you and your family, quietly evaporates.
So I want to leave you with this one provocative question today. If your money isn't growing, is it slowly shrinking? The answer, as we've clearly seen today, is absolutely yes. Inflation never sleeps. The system is fundamentally designed to keep prices moving upward. But now that you understand the mechanics of this hidden machine, you have the power to actually act on it. Don't just helplessly watch prices go up. See beyond them. Invest in assets. Aim to beat that 5% invisible tax and make absolutely sure your wealth grows faster than the machine. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time as we decode the next great puzzle.